Good Tuesday to you. I'm Daniel Berlant in the CAL FIRE Information Center with the fire situation report for September 1st, 2020. Crews are continuing to make good progress on all of the fires that are continuing to burn. In fact, containment efforts have been increased so much that in many areas, a number of the evacuations on these fires have been lifted. So looking at our statewide fire map, you can see there are still just under 24 large major wildfires. Today there are 19 fires in total that are burning that are large or complex fires. So let's just talk about some of that progress. First, let's start with some of the complexes that are burning around the Bay Area. First, the Lnu Lightning Complex is holding at just over 375,000 acres. Today it is 69% contained. Now that is up 6% since yesterday, so good progress being made on the Lnu Lightning Complex. Over in the East Bay, just to the east of San Jose, is the Scu Lightning Complex. You can see this series of fires that have burned now over 390,000 acres. There has been a little bit of growth, about 7,000 more acres since yesterday, but containment as of today is at 70%. That's 10% more than yesterday. So a pretty good climb on this fire and the containment efforts, obviously a sign of the work being done by our firefighters. And then over in the Santa Cruz Mountains, the Czu Lightning Complex continuing to report good progress as well. Over 85,000 acres in total have burned in the last 24 hours. It's been about 350 acres increase, so not much. Now, containment right now is holding at 43%. That's about 4% more than yesterday. So progress being made there as well. Down on the river fire, this is just south of Salinas. The river fire is now at 48,000 acres. It's at 96% contained, no growth in acreage since yesterday, and 1% more containment on this fire. The Carmel fire just to the south of it, burning the Carmel Valley area. It is continuing to hold, no acres increase, but containment up another 1%. So again, good progress being made there. Let's go up now to kind of the northern portion of the state. A series of fires being battled both by the Forest Service and by CAL FIRE. First, we'll go into the just south of Susanville. This is where we find the sheep fire. It is has burned just under 30,000 acres, and it is 38% contained. CAL FIRE and the U.S. Forest Service are both battling this fire. We are in unified command with it. This fire is just south of Susanville. Here's Highway 36 to give you a reference. Here's where the hog fire burned last month in August. Gives you some perspective. There's Westwood, Lake Almanor over there to the east. So again, the sheep fire continuing to grow just under 30,000 acres, as I mentioned. And then the U.S. Forest Service is continuing to battle the North Complex on the Plumas National Forest. A little bit of growth over there, 250 acres is what the Forest Service is reporting. Series of fires burning in the hills just outside of Chico. This is in Butte County. This is part of the Czu Lightning Complex, but the Butte Zone. And the Butte Zone specifically has had no growth in fires and is right now holding at just under 2,800 acres. It's 80% contained. That's up 5% since yesterday. So very good progress. Again, these are fires that are burning near and around Lake Oroville, outside of Paradise, Chico, again up into the hills here off of Highway 32. Then we go over to Tehama County. Series of fires burning just to the east of Red Bluff. The Czu Lightning Complex, but the Tehama Glen Zone is holding at, or is just over 60,000 acres. There was growth. So last night and yesterday we saw 1,300 more acres burned. So there is still growth on this zone. Containment though up 42%. So the containment is 42%. So crews making really good progress there. This large series of fires is the August Complex by the National Forest Service. If you want an update on some of these other more rural fires that are burning, the U.S. Forest Service is very busy with a series of fires up and down the state as well. You can get updates on their fires from our website. We link to the U.S. Forest Service and you can get their latest on their fires. Now let's talk a little bit about the weather. That's really the story for this week. As we have been saying, temperatures are on the rise. You can see today's high temperatures, 108 in Redding, 103 in Chico. This is a snapshot of Northern California, 81 in South Lake Tahoe, 94 in Modesto. So it is starting to ramp up, and that temperature rise will continue as the week goes on. In fact, looking at the weather forecast, temperature-wise for Southern California, look at this. Here's San Diego today, 73 in San Diego. By Saturday, it's going to go up to 88 degrees. Anaheim, so Orange County, same thing, 81 degrees. You're going to see that curve hitting 101 by Saturday. San Bernardino, 109 by Saturday. Palm Springs, we're going to hit 115 by the weekend. So definitely a warm couple of days, and that is why we have some high heat risk throughout much of California. This is looking at Northern California through the Labor Day weekend. You can see the red is high risk for much of the population. The orange is moderate risk. Those are for people who are sensitive to heat and need additional cooling. So a lot of California is going to be high. You can even see there are some extreme areas near Redding, up in around Sonora and the foothill communities. So it's going to be a very hot weekend for sure. So start preparing now. Here's just a quick look at some of the smoke forecasts for the rest of the day. You can see some pretty heavy smoke up in Mendocino counties, in Shasta County, as well as Tehama County. Some very, very thick, unhealthy air there as well. A little bit up in Humboldt County, and a little bit here in Quincy, over in Plumas County. So continue to see some unhealthy weather and air in many areas in Northern California. These are where the fires are currently burning. So with weather conditions continuing to increase in temperature, that may challenge firefighters with their efforts. But again, as we reported, some pretty good increase in containment. Now today there are still over 27,000 people that remain evacuated or under evacuation warnings by these fires. So crews are working very hard to get people back into their homes. It's not just the fire that has to be extinguished or hot spots in and around those residential areas. There are also down trees and utilities and other infrastructure that has to be addressed before we can get people back in their homes. But yesterday during the day, a lot of work was done in that space, and people were able to get home as many of those evacuation warnings were lifted. Though we are going into a hot and dry period, firefighters continue to remain on high alert and prepared to respond to new fires. In fact, yesterday there were 34 new fires in California. So while we're prepared, we need you to prepare as well. Please visit readyforwildfire.org. Get some tips on what you can do to ensure you, your home, and even your family are ready if a wildfire strikes in your area. And lastly, we want to acknowledge some sad news off of the Mendocino National Forest, where the Forest Service reports that yesterday a firefighter died while battling the August complex. There's not a lot of information yet, but in the interim, please join us as we send our thoughts and prayers to the firefighter's family and coworkers.